Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Little Monsters #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Little Monsters #1. It is an image book, and it is by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And we start off on the first page. We are introduced to this world, which looks very post-apocalyptic, and also one of many children in this book. The first child we see is named Romy, and he's an artist. He likes to collect pens and draw on things. And then the next child we get to meet is this girl named Yui. She is reading books in a dilapidated house, and she hears some music, where we meet the next kid, Lucas, who is playing guitar and writing music. And basically what's going on is we're getting introduced to a bunch of different kids who seem to be living in this post-apocalyptic world with no issues, really. It doesn't seem like they need grown-ups, and some weird stuff's going on with the conversations between them. Like this kid, Lucas, says that he writes so many songs that he just forgets them over time, and eventually he just doesn't remember any of the old ones. We get another clue about these kids when these twins named Ronnie and Raymond dare each other to jump off of a building, and one of them totally breaks his leg, but when he gets up, he says it will take all day to heal. So obviously these kids have something going on. Eventually, all the kids meet up at the end of what we assume is the day, but we see that they're all eating rats, and they're eating them without cooking them or anything like that. And it seems like some of the kids are very fed up with the boringness of this life. It's very monotonous. Every day is the same. Every day they have to figure out games to play and stuff to keep them entertained. And as they're eating the rats, we find out that these kids are, in fact, you might have suspected, vampires. And there's one in particular that made them, and they're wondering if he's going to come back. Some kids say that he will, and some kids say that he won't, because it's been over 100 years since they've seen him. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I don't want to spoil this comic anymore. So this is a weird one. If it wasn't this creative team, I would probably say, this comic was all right, but I wouldn't continue reading it, or I wouldn't recommend it. But because it's Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, I feel like this was just kind of setting up the world, and it's going to get better. I do want to read what happens next, but I thought this issue as a whole was kind of lackluster. It just introduces these kids one at a time and slowly reveals that, yes, they in fact are vampires. But the cover kind of gave that away anyway, so I just felt like there maybe wasn't enough stuff going on to keep me interested in this issue. But like I said, knowing the creative team, I know it's going to get better once the story really takes off. And this creative team has done some amazing stuff. I really liked the Robin and Batman run in DC this last year. So I have full faith that this comic will end up being a good story, but just this first issue, I didn't really feel like it was amazing or groundbreaking or anything. Of course, the art was great, and I really liked that it was black and white for the most part. There was some color, as you probably saw. Usually red is a color that they would spot, or the kid that's an artist, I believe his name is Romy, he would draw on the walls with color markers, and those things would be colored. So I really like the style of this book a lot. I just wasn't wowed by this first issue story. So I'm going to give this book a 3 out of 5. And if you saw anything you like, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store. And we will see you all in the next one.